Welcome. In this session, we will learn about web storage. Okay, what are these web storages? Maybe I think it would be easy for us. Let me just make this bigger and open the terminal. I think first let's close some of the tabs we opened, and maybe I can keep this as it is. Now, I think I can just open a new tab, Control-Shift-I here. So as you can see, you just see a clean Chrome page or like the Google Chrome. And these are the common tabs, you know. This is the JavaScript code we write, and also you get the output whenever you write a code on your VS Code, right? Or you can just write whatever. Test, whatever, and you get a result here. So this is the Google Chrome console. Great. And here also, whenever you want to see the files, as you can see, different files. So if you are, for instance, using, developing something, like for instance, let's imagine we are developing this website. And if you can, yeah, here is our file, yeah? Don't you remember? The index. And we have here the index. And the index, the object, and the different files. But why I don't see the other files? Surprisingly, I don't see the JSON is here. But inside the JSON, I am thinking, yeah, oh yeah, everything is inside the JSON file. Yeah, everything is inside. I mean the JSON folder. So here we have index and the JavaScript. As you can see, this is the network. Network means to see if everything, for instance, this 2000 means everything is okay. And you can see different status and type, what's happening on a website anyway. Let me also show you, this is something related to the web page, and this is the HTML, and this is the JavaScript, the CSS performance, and here's also, for instance, I was expecting Lighthouse. Is it here? No, I think it's not here. But today I'm interested in here, the application, and that's related to local storage or web storage. So yeah, as you can see, we have here local storage, and you can store something here. For instance, you can say name, and then my name, for instance, Asabene. And then I can write again age, and then 250, and again country, and then again here Finland. Yeah, so this is actually, I am writing it manually here, but this is the place where the local storage is. Session storage, and we have mainly, whenever we say this, actually the local storage and the session storage. How do we access those? Yeah, now we will talk about that. First, let's create a new, maybe I think today here, I can say, maybe I have to maximize it. Shall we just create a new folder? Then I can call it local web storage. And inside the web storage, let's have an index.html, and let's stop also the one which is running already. Yeah, and also close the previous files because we don't need them, and it's better. And I call the name of the file is also web storage .js, okay? And I want to link that here. I think it's not, let me change it to HTML. And HTML, then you have it. Then let's link that. Source and web storage. Now let's go to the web storage and do alert, hi. And now let's start this again, live server. Hi, it says hi, so that means we're linked. So let's open this and do, sorry. Then I can just take this the other side. Now let me see if there's anything here. But I think it's better to read what a web storage is. Web storage, session storage, and local storage is a new HTML5 API offering important benefits over traditional cookies. Do we have cookies? Yes, we have cookies, but this also provides us a better benefit. Before HTML5, application data had to be stored in cookies included in every server request. Web storage is more secure, and large amounts of data can be stored locally without affecting a website performance. The data storage limit of cookies in many web browsers is about 4 kilobytes per cookies. Web storage, I think this is web storage can store far larger data, at least 5 megabytes, and never transfer to the server. All sites from the same or one origin can store and access the same data, but it says all sites from the same or one origin can store and access the same data. So the data being stored can be accessed using JavaScript, which gives you the ability to leverage client-side scripting to do many things that have traditionally involved server-side programming and relational databases. Yeah, there are two web storages, as we have mentioned, the local storage and the session storage. And they are almost the same. Local storage is similar to session storage, except that while data stored in local storage has no expiration time, local storage, you can save it forever. But session storage, when you just close, it will vanish. What does that mean? Let me show you now here, okay? Maybe that it might not tell exactly. Let's just see what do we have on the local storage now. We don't have anything. Local storage dot set item and name and okay, and the value is going to be my name, for instance. And if you say now local storage, as you can see, we have stored. And after we close this, let's see if we get back again. Local storage. As you can see, I got it. It's there. But if it was session storage, let's do session storage dot set item. We use the same method, okay? Age. The age of it could be whatever, 28, for instance. Yeah, can I access? Yes, session. As you can see in the local storage, we don't have it, but I can still modify the local storage. For instance, local storage dot set item, and the age is actually also 28. Maybe just now, let me, have you seen the local storage object is growing, but in the session storage, let me see, we have this. Let's close this and check. I'm closing and open again. Then if I do Now I'm expecting only the local storage. The session storage has been vanished. Local storage, yes. But if you do the session storage, yes, it's empty because session storage, once if you close the tab, it will never persist. It will vanish. That's the concept. Great. Oh, that's what it says. Yeah, where do you get them? Yeah, you get them, those local storage. Actually, you can do the application over here, and then you find here local storage. And if you see the session storage, nothing, but if you go to the local storage, actually, as you can see, but this has been stored a long time ago, right? Where's the new? Oh, because yeah, I stored this here some time ago, but here, if you go, it's a different, yeah, age and name, and usually it arranged alphabetically. Yeah, great. Now let's move on to use cases. Use case of web storage. When do we use some use case of web storage? Store data temporarily. Yeah. Saving products that the user places in his shopping cart. For instance, when a user is just selecting items, and then we can store it on the local storage until the user select all the items in the local storage. Data can be made available between page requests, multiple browser tabs, and also between browser sessions using local storage. Can be used offline completely using local storage. Yes, sometimes some data can be stored on the local storage, and when the internet is off, you may still access the data from the local storage, and you can have the feeling of being connected on the internet. Actually, you are not. Actually, that's offline availability. Web storage can be great performance when some static data is stored on the client to minimize the number of subsequent requests. Yeah, so instead of requesting now and then to the server, you may also store some data on the local storage, and you can access it from the local storage. And you have, actually, that's really so fast because you are accessing it right away from the local machine. And yeah, it improves performance. Yeah, great performance, it says. Can be used for user authentication method. Yep. If you log in to some system, so the token might come as in a local storage key, and it will be stored, and then it will be a way to authenticate or authorize users. This might not be easy to understand what I'm talking about authentication now, but maybe I can show you in real life, for instance, what application do I remember? Have to log into something. Okay, let me try. I will find an application that, for instance, I can say, this application, let me try if there's an application over here. If I remember, and if it allows me to log in. Oh yeah, I managed to log in. Now Since I logged in, that means I'm verified, I'm authorized. So there might be some thing, local storage. Yeah, this is not using actually a local storage. Oh, this is not using a local storage. So it's using a different authorization method. I'm just, but the thing is, most of the time, what we do when the user actually logged in, we just set the local storage with the token. And then when you navigate between the different routes, because of the token, it gives you the privilege to navigate, to access the different routes. Yeah, that's what it means over there. Yeah, I think after this, let's move on to how to use it. Web storage. It's not very difficult. It's so easy. Local storage, this is how you use it. Local storage, we have this as in object. So you just write it local storage, Control Shift. Let me just write it here. Local storage. Yeah, this is how you access it. And if you want to clear everything, you can say local storage dot clear. And then this will clear everything actually. As you can see, nothing. Okay. Local storage dot set item allows you to set. It usually takes a key and a value. For instance, key, I can say, yeah, first name, and then my name, and it's going to be Asaven. Okay. And then local storage again, set item, and then again, last name, and then my last name. Okay. Then local storage dot set item, and the key is going to be the age, and then my age is actually going to be 150. And then how about skills? Local storage dot set item and skills. What are my skills? I can put them as in again. I can put them like then I can say HTML, CSS, JavaScript. It's good enough already. And then, yeah, the reason why I put double quote, because I have a single quote inside. Yeah, so that's a must, right? You know that. Now, if you see the local storage, actually, I have a big object like this. Have you seen? It's a big object. Can we access that? We can access this actually. Maybe we can say JSON parse local object, local storage, what? JSON to parse, what? Anyway, JSON, yeah. Yeah, as you can see, we can access it first as in stringified. So as you can see, I managed to get it as in a string. It's okay to get it as in a string. But after you got it as in a string, you can also change it to, now maybe you can call const, text, JSON. It's just a JSON, this. And then I can say now it's an object, const object. I can say JSON dot parse, and then text JSON. And then if you say object now, as you can see, I got a very good object like this. Okay, but this is not how you do all the time, right? We should do it on the VS Code, Visual Studio Code. Yeah, let's remove this. And we come here and let's see. So console.log local storage. What do I have in the local storage? Yeah, as you can see, we have this in the local storage. Great. How do we clear the local storage again? Console.log. No, we don't have to say that, but local storage dot clear, and I have to invoke. Now, if I do again this, I will not get anything. Yeah, it has been cleared out. Oh yeah. I have some examples. Let's do it step by step. And actually, it's just the same as you can see. Yeah, it's so nice. It's so clean here, but I just do the same again. So whenever, let's close some of the additional tabs, but we need this tab, additional tab, close again. And we don't need this cat. We don't need this cat. I think this also from previous, and we don't need this again. And we don't need this. So let's stick in here. So now to access local storage, we use local storage. So easy. And to set local storage dot set item, and then you need the key and the value. Then let's do it. Yeah, local storage. Now we're accessing set item, and then I may say first name and just my names. Oh yeah. Yeah, now if I do console.log local storage, I should get, oh yeah. Now let's just add more by just, I can say last name and the last name. And again, age, I can just put the number 150. And then corners, for instance, skills, my skills going to be, let me first write it as in HTML, and then CSS, and then JavaScript, and then React. Maybe I have to add one Python, and that would be good. And let's add that one also. I can say local storage dot set item, and the key is going to be skills, and the value is also going to be that skills, this value. Great. Now, as you can see, we have this. Great. But for your surprise, the skills is not anymore actually in a list. Yeah, as you can see, it's not a list. Yeah, so if you want it to be to keep the format, you can just keep it like this too. And now it is a list. Okay, now if you want to parse, so how do we parse? Okay, we have to parse this JSON.parse is to change to an object, but now actually this is just a kind of a strange object. So JSON dot stringify to change it to a string, and then the local storage everything. Yeah. And then maybe we can have undefined and maybe for, digit, and let's see what it looks like. If I print console.log this. Yeah, so we managed to print that out, but not like that. Let's also change this to an object. We can say console.log JSON. Maybe I think first I have to change it to object. Yeah, const object. So first I have to say JSON dot parse, and then I can just, maybe I have to store this in as in something like a text, const text. Yeah, it's not like a text now. Then I have to parse this text. Then now let's do the console.log object. Yep, as you can see now we have this object, the proper object. If you want to check the type, console.log type of, I think it's just type of the object, it should be an object. Yeah, great. Let's see if there's something we didn't. Yeah. Yeah, so now we just saw the state. Now let's see gate. Yeah, gate, for instance, if you say local storage dot gate, and then you use first name, and I should gate my name. What is this? Console.log. As you can, oh yeah, sorry, get item, sorry. Yeah, I got my name. Of course, you have it already here, the object you can look through for const, maybe you can say one of the item in the object, and you can just print all the data, console.log item. Yeah. Now as you can see. Great. Now let's see the key. The key is also a very good value. So you can say console.log localStorage dot key. Oh, okay. Not to be confused with this output. And let me just comment this out for the time being. The skills about one age console.log local storage. As you can see, the local storage also has this index, abstract index. So it just gives you a different, but I'm not exactly sure how the index works. Display data stored in local storage. It takes index as a parameter. I don't use this most of the time. Let me just check. Yeah, so it has its own, as you can see, even though you see it here ordered, but here the local storage has its own way of arranging. As you can see, skills is the 0. As you can see, if I say 0, it's the key, the 0. And if I say just 1, it's going to be age. And then if I just change it to 2, it should be last name. And then if I say 3, and it's going to be first name, something like that. So it has its own, but I don't think it has that much use cases for this method. Most of the time I have never used it for anything. Yeah, so don't worry about it. So let's go for clearing or removing item using remove item. For instance, local storage, remove item. And if you don't like is to store the age, maybe you don't like to see someone's age there, then we can remove with this. By now it has to be removed, and let's see. As you can see, the age, the key, and the value has been removed. Yeah, maybe if you don't like also local storage, remove item, maybe if you are not interested in the last name, you can also remove again. Then now you may have last. What does that last mean? Last name. That's what I meant. So let's say, yeah, first name and skills. Great. Now I think you understood how to use remove item. Clear, we have used it. Local storage, it's just to access all the local storage object, to remove everything, to set a new key and value, and to get the value. Of course, you have to pass the key. Remove item to remove the key and the value. And this is another method that may be used to get the uPass index to get the key. I think we have covered that. That's all about the local storage. If you ask me session storage, it's the same. The difference is local storage, you found it after you close this, but session storage, you will never get it after you close this. Maybe another example I can use from somewhere, and let's just store some data. Maybe I can fetch this data and maybe store it. Okay, let's just fetch this data. Okay. Now I can say fetch. We have seen the fetch. By the way, we have this fetch. First, let me store the URL, maybe const URL here, the cats, and then let me pass the URL over here, and then call, because this fetch has some promise, then response, because when we send the request, we have a response, and we have to accept that response as in a JSON, okay? Response, .json. And this should be the same, small or lowercase. And then we should have another then call, and it will be the data, the cats data, all the cats, console.log. And then actually I can say data, and let's see if we are fetching all those cats. Let's refresh. What's happening? URL. Okay, now I am uncode. Let me see, response. Yeah, this seems not right. Response, yeah. I had a typo. Yeah, as you can see, 67 cats breed is here now. Well, maybe if I want to just store this data on the local storage, hey, local storage dot set item, and then I may say, and then actually I can call it data, and then actually I can just store that maybe data. Yeah, now if I just write local storage, the story might be different, as you can see. Yeah. But the problem is actually first, before I store it, it's good to stringify. Yes, I should have told you that. So let's stringify. That means let's change to text. Yeah. Const change the data to text data. Yeah. So what then I should say JSON dot stringify, and then I have to pass the data, and then the stringified text should come in here. Text data. Now, if we do local storage, it looks really great. Yeah, now it really looks good. So maybe if you want to access, now let's access it from the local storage, console.log, local storage, dot get item, and if I say data, oh yeah. But as you can see, this is not something you want to see. We have to parse it. Yeah, so let's, of course, we can do here. Maybe I think when I was doing this, it's better to stringify it also with undefined and then for, it would have been much better. Yeah, as you can see, now it's somehow good, right? At least it's easy to read. But now let's again do some kind of parsing, JSON.parse, and let's just dump this and it will be parsed. Yeah, have you seen? I'm parsing it again. Yeah. So remember, so what we have noticed is actually the JSON.stringify and the JSON.parse are important. This is to change data to text, this to change JSON or text data to proper object. Yeah, something also made a mistake here. Actually, we made a mistake here when we do this kind of parsing. I should have done it differently. Now, as you can see, maybe local storage, the local storage do have quite a lot of data. First, we should have actually parsed this instead of doing this. It's better to parse, stringify it. So it's better to use JSON.stringify and then the skills. That's much better. So yeah, it's stringifying something is actually changing the text. It's not much of a difference. So it's but as you can see, it gave us a different structure. So it's better to use. And then let's now parse and see what we can get actually. Maybe I can get down console.log. But now I think what we, as you can see, if you see here, the data, we have all the cats data, but this one is everywhere. Yeah, that's not what you want, right? Yeah, so that's not what you want. Maybe so what you should do instead of just putting it like that, const, no, don't do that. And we should have done something like const user, and I should have done this first name, my name, and then last name, and then age is married, true, and skills, and then maybe the CSS, and then the JS, and then the React, whatever. Yeah. So as you can see, it would have been much better first changing this const user as in a text. Then I can say JSON dot stringify and then I can stringify user undefined and maybe 4. Now, let me just do the console.log and user text. As you can see, I found this. Oh yeah, great. Then after that, it's good to local storage dot set item, and then I will call this user. And then the user is going to be user text. Yeah, this really makes sense. Now we don't have to really just to do this printing, but if we go all the way down and console.log, local storage, maybe what I have local storage, and let's see what we have. If you see what we have now, well, in the user, yeah, the user is really good. And we don't have to have this like as in a single item here. So we can remove it up to here. And yeah, we have been experimenting and no problem. And here. So now if you see, you can also just do local storage from here, local storage, yeah, local storage dot get item. And if you say user and do this, yeah. But as you can see, it's so scattered everywhere. But if you change this, if you parse, I can say JSON.parse. And then if I just drop that, oh yeah, have you seen it's a clean data? Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, guys. This is very clean data. So remember, whenever you store to the local storage, first stringify it. Yes, I have to repeat this. Whenever you store your object or array to the local storage, first you should stringify it. If not, the structure of the data may change. And there is also a possibility to lose some of your data. Lose means if it's lose its structure, so it's not good. Now, as you can see, this is so clean. Yeah, we got back what we stored. Great. I think this is the end of the lesson related to web storage. What did we cover? Let's just revise. Today we learned about local storage and session storage. So these are storage and memory space on your web browser, up to 5 to 10 megabyte. This local storage exists or can be stored forever on your browser if you don't remove it. But this one, once if you just close this tab, it will never be there. Yeah, once if you just close it, it will not stay there. But the local storage exists or stay there forever. To access the local storage object, you do something local storage. Yeah. So this is what you do. And if you want to see, for instance, console.log, you can see, and this is how you access it. Oh yeah, if you want to set a new set item and the key and the value, the key it could be any, for instance, year. For instance, let's do year, and it's going to be 2021. Yeah. Now, if you check the local storage, from here or here, it doesn't matter. You will see. Let's just print the local storage here and let's see. Yeah, as you can see, year 2021. Yeah, great. Now let's also check getting console.log local storage.get. For instance, if you remember user, the user has a data local storage get item, guys. Yeah, get item. Yeah. Yes, I found it as in a string, of course. Now to change this to an object, I have to parse this. Yeah, we have seen the parse, but let's just repeat this. JSON dot parse, and then I just drop this, the stringified version, and then you get an object. Great. Console.log local storage remove item, and if you want to remove, for instance, we don't need the year, and after this, and if you just copy this down and check if there is a year or not, I think you don't see a year anymore. There is no, yes. And then yeah, I think this is all what you need to know about local storage. So easy. Most probably you do stringifying and parsing now and then. That is something you should consider when you deal with local storage. I hope this can help you when you work with different projects and whenever you want to store some data on the local storage to improve the performance or to improve the user experience because it is so fast. Yes.